other sectors kasi they're saying, Kiko, na bakit kasi pinag-iinitan nyo si VP Sara? You can always file an impeachment naman, an impeachment complaint laban, let's say, doon sa mga people behind the 2025 budget na medyo maraming diferensya. Bakit si VP Sara yata pinag-iinitan ninyo?
Well, so, ilan lang din po actually yung sangkot sa 2025 budget na pwedeng i-impeach. Si President Marcos lang po yun. No? And ako, if someone wants to take the lead on impeaching President Marcos, I don't know how many of yung mga kasama ko sa tindig will agree with me, pero ako, go ahead. Please file that impeachment. Baka mag-sign pa nga ako. Diba? Pero I think the unique thing about VP Sara po, ay bumabalik nga po ako doon sa yung video niya, yung press con niya noong November 25th. Kasi bagamat from an outsider's and non-expert's point of view, kung corruption ang pinag-uusapan, the Marcos administration has a lot to account for as far as corruption. President Marcos himself admitted it in his State of the Nation address. I don't know how you scold people for corruption that you signed off on in the 2025 budget, pero up to him how to reconcile that contradiction. Pero yun, kapag pinag-uusapan yung corruption, I agree. No? These two personalities are definitely neck deep in it. Pero yung kakaiba kay VP Sara Duterte ay yung binaba niyang grave threats. Never po tayo nakakita ng ganyan mula sa isang vice-presidente. Dito man, or even in other countries, parang kung nangyari man yan in a case, it means things have gotten really bad. And again, pinansin tayo ng buong mundo nung nangyari ito. Hindi, kahit nung inaresto si President Duterte ng ICC, medyo, partially because maraming kababalaghang ginagawa yung ibang mga world leaders at that time, pero hindi tayo masyadong pinansin nung nangyari yun. When it was, I believe it was also such a big deal, di ba? Pero the moment na tumatak tayo sa mundo was when VP Sara admitted to hiring an assassin to kill the president. And that cannot be acceptable.
Kung Erin, dagdag ko lang. Kasi, fine, it's not being singled out. But the House has spoken and will keep on speaking in terms of filing the necessary legal remedies. The Senate has decided whether as an impeachment court, as a Senate, technicality considering, the Supreme Court has spoken, pending ang MR. Marami nagsasabi sa akin, Kong Erin, are we in a constitutional crisis?
I don't think we are in a constitutional crisis at this point because there's still a pending MR. Now, I think like what Kiko has mentioned, the Supreme Court now should take a pause, and really maybe call for an oral argument and ventilate the factual allegations in the decision that seem to be not the right facts that actually happened. As a matter of fact, a network came out with their statement that the decision misquoted their news report because they did not say that. So this becomes glaring, no? And so it is important that the Supreme Court steps back, reviews everything. If they have questions, then they can call the proper persons to appear in the court and supply the facts that are needed. Sabi nga ni Kiko, tagal yung usapin ng forthwith. Nagulat nga kami, biglang nahanap ng Senado yung definition ng forthwith at agad immediately na ano ba naman yun, no? 'Di ba? Bakit hindi na lang natin hintayin?
Yes.
No? So this, I think, is a question that boggles even the remaining living constitutional framers, no? Dahil ang role talaga ng Senado is to try high officials who have committed betrayal of public trust, graft and corruption, treason, etc. High crimes, and remove them from office. Kaya nga sui generis, they cannot even be charged for a crime while they are in office. The step first is to remove them, and then if there are cases to be filed, then that will happen after.
Given your experience, Kong Erin, have you encountered any decision by the Supreme Court unanimously decided na reverse in an MR?
Well, Senator Risa has addressed this in rebuttal to Senator Marcoleta. This is the BT Talong issue where the Supreme Court completely reversed their decision. So it has happened.
So it can happen this
It
time.
can happen
Are
again.
you optimistic kung Erin na pwedeng baliktarin ito?
If they realize that if they go through the Constitutional Commission's deliberation on Article 11 and how Section 4 with regard to the fast track mode is done, they will see that there's nothing there that requires
All the
due process, the seven steps. And if that's the case, since we always refer to the minutes of legislative proceedings, constitution, to guide us, then there may be a possibility that they may revisit their decision and, nga pala, wala ito sa deliberations ng Constitutional Commission. Bakit natin ilalagay?
But on one end, Kong Erin, would you say that the checks and balance system in our system of government is in full display na nangyayari na this is the essence of democracy? Magkakaroon tayo ng pagtatalo whether sa Senado, sa Presidente, o sa Korte Suprema, and this is really in fact a healthy democracy and it's not about anything political.
I would think so. And I even challenge the statement of Senator Alan na kung kayo'y galit kay VP, election na lang. Hindi naman usapin ng election ito. Usapin kung may ginawa si Vice President Sara Duterte na labag sa ating saligang batas. Yun. No? Kung may ginawa siya, then dapat tanggalin. Sabi nga namin sa mga naniniwala sa accountability, ilabas yung ebidensya kung matalo kami sa boto as long as napakita natin sa taong bayan, no? And later on the people will decide, no? So kung ganyan talaga ang proseso, dapat natin sundan. Pero yung pahihirapan natin yung taong bayan para makahanap ng landas para panagutin ang isang high official, it defeats the purpose of Article 11.
Paano to, Kong Erin? Kasi I've been teaching in law school for quite some time. May nagtanong lang sa akin, hindi ko kayang sagutin. Baka kaya mo sagutin. Sir, what if the decision of the Supreme Court is by itself unconstitutional? Ano dapat gawin?
Well, the answer to that question would be to file an impeachment complaint, no, against the Supreme Court, and then cite the grounds if they feel that there's a violation on Article 11 that can be considered culpable violation of the Constitution. Then, if not, we can go down to the pinaka lower ranked betrayal of public trust for not upholding Article 11. So that is the process that the Constitution allows.
And any person can do that, including any member of the House.
Yes, any member, any citizen for that matter, and under the Constitution has to be endorsed by a member of the House in order for initiation to proceed. Kasi ang Francisco versus House of Representatives, at ito yung pinag-awayan nung Davide, when is initiation?
Yes.
So initiation is filing and referral to the Committee on Justice.
Yes.
So if no member of the House endorses the impeachment complaint, it will not move.
Yeah.
It will not move. So importante yun. And here again, dito lumalabas based also on the motion for reconsideration filed, I think, by Isang Bayan, that if the Supreme Court would again step back and look at the journal or ask members of the House of Representatives, the the SecGen, no? Ano bang una na tinakel? Kasi lahat sila nasa agenda,
Yes.
'di ba? Sabi ng motion for reconsideration ng Isang Bayan, nagkaroon ng botohan muna sa 1/3. No? So yung 215 verified complaint na fourth articles of impeachment before they even tackled the 3 others to be archived.
Yes.
No? So if that's the case, then what 1-year ban are you talking about kung nauna? So it goes really to the factual issues of the case, which alam naman natin, Fred, as lawyers, factual issues are not supposed to be entertained by the Supreme Court, and they are only supposed to look at the law. But here, since they are looking at factual issues, should they not be more cautious, especially since the issue here is accountability?
Are you surprised, Kong Erin, at the swiftness of the decision of this Supreme Court in resolving this issue of the 1-year bar? And at the same time, given that there's a motion for reconsideration filed, what do you think is a reasonable timeline for them to resolve the MR?
Well, of course, we were surprised why it was resolved immediately. No? Dahil kung titignan mo matagal nang nakapag-file ng petition si Vice President Sara and her lawyer, no? Wala naman in-issue na TRO. No?
Yeah.
So ito nga yung question kung bakit hindi nagawa ni Senate President, no, with all due respect, dahil magkasama kami sa House nung hinahabol namin si former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, kung bakit hindi niya sinimulan kaagad. Dahil wala naman TRO
Correct.
And then of course, you can think of a lot of reasons that he gave. Dahil kampanya na, hindi. Pero I think if they started in February, I think it is incumbent. Well, I cannot speak for every senator. If there is an impeachment complaint and there's an impeachment trial, I think the duty of each senator, if I were there, is to do my duty and try the case. No? Secondary na yung kampanya. For some people, they will say, uy, okay na nga. May impeachment trial dahil I'll be in the media for such a period of time if I was a re-electionist senator. No? Pero hindi naging ganun yung decision ng ating Senate President. And again, I respect his position. Later on, history will judge. No? History will judge.
Yes, history will judge. But at the same time, if you say, Kong Erin, that the legal remedy for, let's say, erring court justices would be impeachment, paano naman kung ang nagkakamali yung mga members of the Senate?